Again, just take your time. Don't get rough with it. You get rough with it, you're going to cut your finger off. And don't let that scare you. I'm going to slowly, don't force it, just kind of wiggle it down. All right. Just like the last one. Making sure any placement. Dean Family Acres. Alright guys, so this is year 3 on trying to do some persimmon grafting. We will see if these take. I've got this Tanenashi. I've got several American seedlings, and honestly I'm just going to graft some of those this year, and then next year I'm going to work on any of those seedlings that are continue to grow and are pretty solid. I'm just going to get some more Scion wood and try and graft those next year. It's just the way it's working out because I really couldn't get another some collected Scion wood for a reasonable price. Hopefully next year I'll be able to kind of trade some more stuff out, but we'll see what we can make work. I mess this up every year. I think timing's wrong, that kind of thing, but my understanding is mouse's ear size, and I think this is about perfect. This is from when I pruned my Tanenashi Persimmon, and I believe that this is still okay. Yes, we still have some green. If it will focus. Get up, get a little closer to you guys. See that there? A little bit of green there. So we should be good with our Scion. We just need to match up our size. And I'm just going to do a cleft graft. That's what I feel like I'm most comfortable with. I know there's multiple different ways to do this, but cleft graft seems to be what works for me. So I know it's painful to kind of take off the growth that you've got, but these are just American seedlings, and I really barely paid anything for them. I was really mainly concerned about getting the pawpaw seedlings, which that is my next thing to graft, but I wanted to kind of work on a couple other graft projects. Since it's a little bit later, I'm kind of out of habit, I guess you would say, and those pawpaw Scions is probably the most I've ever paid for Scions. I know some people pay crazy money, but that's probably the most I've ever paid for something like a Scion. So let's see what we can come up with here, and grafting this with the Tanenashi. All right, so we've got our grafting Scion. Got our pruners. These are not exactly the greatest because they are not bypass, but they work if you're careful. And then trusty grafting knife. This is definitely not an official grafting knife, but it works, and you can get blades super cheap. I've seen people use X-Acto knives, I've seen people use these, and I've seen people use true grafting knives. So what you want to do is just check your size here and make sure where you're going to line up that you've got the right size. It's me, looks like about right in here would be about right. And if you look at it, looks like that was last year's growth to here, up, so that'll be about right. I've always been taught or learned to do your rootstock first, because that Scion, you don't want it drying out. So got my cut there. I'm just going to prune off the very end of this, just to give it fresh. See that's still green. And I always just do 2 to 3 buds. So also knowing I've got one more, I could graft more of these, and I guess I could trade them off, but we'll see what we can end up with in regards to that growing. I really don't need a bunch of Tanenashi, but if it grows, I can certainly trade it. Let's also look where the buds are. They all look like they're doing pretty good. So I'm gonna go 3 here. And I always cut just above, and if you do have non-bypass, I'm gonna put that on the bottom. cut just above. So there goes your 1, 2, 3 buds. Now's the little bit tricky part. I always kind of measure up, make sure it's about the right size. It looks like it's pretty close, and I start low, and then if I mess up, I can work my way up. And I just put my finger like this. All right, you want to try and get it to the middle as close as you can. Flip it over. And I kind of just put my finger there so I know exactly where that is. For some reason, I always cut a little crooked. Maybe it's because I'm always using a box cutter, but not too bad. We'll come and straighten out this side a little bit. All right. You see that there. I'll cut the end of that off since it flares out just a little bit there. All right. And I also think it doesn't hurt to wet these. Some people soak theirs. I kind of just put it in my mouth a little bit. Probably not the best thing to do. And then just want to line them up. One side looks almost perfect. The other side is right at it. This side's right at it. So I think we'll go with that. Take your grafting tape. You want to get a piece long enough to be able to wrap all the way up. Start just below. I usually go around, just make sure that you're holding this firm. And then I kind of like to twist it. Some people use a rubber band here. I've just found if you are doing a good job lining it up and holding it, kind of use that like a little piece of rope, it will still break loose when this thing has healed up. And I honestly have some that it's still on there, but unless it's girdling it, I don't worry about taking it off. Now, anytime there's going to be a bud, if I can get you close enough here to see, anytime there's going to be a bud, I try and not double wrap over that if I can help it. So you see going over, it's just going to, oop, got a little tear there. Try and just go over at one time. Same with the top. Go all the way to the top, break it off, and you're going to kind of pull that back around. Moisture is your enemy, so that one looks pretty good in regards to being wrapped around. You can see those buds there and how that's worked out. So, one Tanenashi done. We'll see how many more we can get through. And again, this was just a little limb that was growing on my tree, and I should have fruit this year. So I can verify exactly what I have, but my tree came from Ison's, so I should have pretty good reliability in what it is. People do make mistakes, but I think overall it'll be okay. All right, let's see where we need to be here. It's a little higher. It's all right, about right there. Not a problem. Again, we're going to look for 2 to 3 buds on this one. Hold it this way. Probably could still do 3 buds, and then that would leave us with 1 here and then 2 on top. Again, just take your time. Don't get rough with it. You get rough with it, you're going to cut your finger off. And don't let that scare you. Want to slowly, don't force it, just kind of wiggle it down. All right. Just like the last one. Making sure any placement You really don't want to whittle on this thing, so you want a single clean cut all the way down. Looks pretty good to me. Not exactly straight, but pretty close. Alright, looking pretty good. My eyes, I don't know about y'all's, but I'm in my 40s, and since I turned 40, it seems like just little things here or there you start noticing. So go around one time, make sure you got everything lined up just like you want it. I'm about to pull this thing tight. Looks good. Then again, I just kind of twist it. That also allows you to kind of keep an eye on it. Hold it tight there, straighten your tape or film back out. Try and be careful when you're pulling it around that you're not wiggling your graft union. That's pretty good. 2 Tanashis down. We'll keep working through these, and don't know if we'll update you on how they're doing in this video or it'll be in a later video. All right, guys, so here we are on July the 20th, and I want to show you exactly how well these grafts are going today. Here are the persimmon grafts that we did. We did 4, and you might notice a little bit of difference here in all of them. This one here actually did not take, so you can see there it flushed out that below, and just complete rejection of that. But we had 3 that actually took, and many of you know this is the 3rd year that we have tried to graft persimmons, and I think some of this is probably because controlled environment a little bit with us having these planted right here at our back porch. We've had a little bit of Japanese beetle damage, but overall they've done really well. You can see again just that graft and shooting out. Same here. Done exceptionally well. So super excited about that in regards to how well those have done. Really do appreciate you guys watching this week's video. Hopefully you learned a little something as we finally saw some results after 3 years of trying to graft persimmons in some form or fashion. These are Tanenashi, and we planted this from Isons last year. We thought we would get fruit this year, but weren't able to do that. Had one hanging on, but that last hot spell we had, it ended up dropping fruit, which I've heard is pretty common in regards to the first couple of years when you're planting those Asian persimmons. Same happened with the Fuyu that we planted. But these grafts went really, really well, and hopefully we've kind of figured out part of that. We got a couple more rootstock that we can use in the future as well, and maybe up potting those and being able to graft coming this spring. I'd love to hear exactly how your results have been. I've heard a lot of people mention, hey, I've had no problem at all grafting persimmons, and I really do think that it is based off of timing, specifically when you graft, and then also kind of the weather and patterns and how well you stay on top of watering and any buds that pop up on that rootstock. You got to scrape those off because they will pop up constantly. And we've also learned this from other things that we've grafted. If you let that rootstock flush out and grow, it's just not going to put the energy towards your Scions that you've grafted on. So remember to do that. Really do appreciate you guys watching, as I mentioned before, and don't forget to like this video down below and subscribe. When you do subscribe, don't forget to ring that bell like. That's right, Mike Tyson in the 1980s. Thanks so much, guys. Hopefully we'll see you again next week, and love to hear what's going on at your place.